We often hear about the traditional forms of human trafficking, forced prostitution, sweatshops, the fishing industry, but there are other forms of human trafficking that are out there as well. For example, I was in Singapore and I was making a presentation at a law firm. And at the end of it, the lawyers came up and said, well, thank you very much for that, but we don't really feel that there's any vulnerability of us being associated with this. So I turned to them and I said, well, who cleaned your building? They said they didn't know. And I said, well, maybe you should look into it. They did. And a couple of weeks later, they contacted me and said, yes, we found that the third-party cleaners for our building were exploiting migrants. It was a human trafficking situation. A couple of weeks later, I was presenting to a pharmaceutical company. At the end, they said, well, you know, we're a pharmaceutical company. We are a very sophisticated company, and we wouldn't have anything associated with human trafficking. So I asked them, well, how do you get your pharmaceuticals from your warehouse to the pharmacies? And they said, well, we have third-party distributors. I asked them if they ever looked into them. They said no. A couple of weeks later, they came back and they said they looked into it and they found highly exploitative situations. The points that I'm making is that you have a situation where if people can take advantage of others, they will. And we see lots and lots of variations. We see the cleaners, we see the distributors, we see all different other types of scenarios that have to be looked into. And so this is just an example of, you know, how human trafficking, when you shine a light on various businesses, the possibility of there being a human trafficking situation can seriously exist.